Welcome everybody. This is my first video. My name is Nathan. I am fat. I am a fatty bum bum. But I am not as fat as I once was. 3 months ago, I was 12 and a half kilos more than I am now. So 1st of January, I weighed myself, I was 135 kilos. I then went through and just ate a lot. Didn't do any exercise, anything like that. And in March, I got diagnosed with high blood pressure and was on the border of having diabetes and just generally not well, just not comfortable. But I got given the high blood pressure medication. Didn't really do much to actually push me into losing weight. However, the 22nd of May, I hadn't put too much on. I was 136 and a half kilos. But today, it is the 18th of August. I'm down to 122.4 kilos. So I've just been eating low carb slash keto and doing some exercise occasionally. It's that simple. I'm no expert. I'm not saying that anyone watching this should take what I'm doing and do it for yourself, or generally just I'm doing what's working for me. I'm no expert. That's basically what I'm saying. I'm not here to provide inspirational quotes like your grand's Facebook posts or random influencers on Instagram. But what I am here to do is just primarily document the next 9 months of my, I don't want to say journey, because I don't want to be a fat boy anymore. I want to be a thin boy, possibly a muscly boy. But I need to get my shit together, ready for Bristol Half Marathon on the 19th of May next year. Now, you may be looking at me going, he's not that fat, even though if I do that. But what you think? What can this fat bloke do to run a half marathon when he weighs 19 and a half stone? I mean, for starters, I've kind of done it before. I've done 3 Tough Mudders in the past. Which are around about 12 miles or so each. So I've kind of done that with a bit of the exercise and a bit of this and that in between the obstacles and stuff like that. But the main impetus for this, other than not being a shape that is round, is earlier this year my mum died. She'd been diagnosed with neuroendocrine cancer 7 years ago, 2016. And had been kicking its ass for longer than any of the doctors expected her to. A consultant gave her 3 to 5 years, and she died at about 6.5. So she'd done fantastically well. And I mean, even the neuroendocrine cancer is very rare. I think it's 1 in 4, 1 in 5 million people get it. So she was a 1 in 5 million person, and yeah, that's how I like to think of my mum. It's so rare. There is actually a case study, I believe, been written by some of the consultants at Bristol about my mum and her situation. But after her death, obviously, anyone in your family dies, especially someone so close, you have a bit of a spiral. I decided to eat my feelings primarily, but a lot of Lego as well. So everyone deals with it differently, I suppose. But I was looking for a way out. I was looking to dig my way out of that kind of that malaise, that grief, whatever you want to class it as. Just so happened that the day of the Bristol Half Marathon this year, which was some point in May, My wife had a conference for work that needed to be done in Bristol, so I had to go and pick her up. And we realised the half marathon was on. It was going to be a pain in the ass to get to. Um, so this kind of set the gears in motion. It kind of got me stuck the idea in my head. I've always needed a goal. I've always needed something to push for when it came to exercising. Um, Previously, it's been the Tough Mudder, so I did 2014, I think 16 and 17 as well. Um, so I don't really fancy doing another Tough Mudder. They're great, but they are mostly upper body strength. I don't have that at the moment. I've got flabby little arms and whatnot. Um, but running a half marathon seemed like something I can do. It's I've got a year, or had a year to train. Obviously, we're 3 months down the line now. It's mostly flat, although they've changed the course since I last looked at it, and it's got a couple of hills, but that's beside the point. And more importantly, it was cheap. It was like 35 quid to sign up for at the time. So fantastic, did that. So I started into the diet. We've previously, me and my wife have done keto and low carb and stuff before. We've lost a lot of weight doing that. But I've never combined it with exercise. We started doing that like 2019, and it's normally been a way for me to get on roller coasters when we go to Florida. But so we sort the diet out. I've really focused on that. I've not really fallen off the wagon with that for the last few months, so that's gone quite well. And I've managed to actually get myself into the gym. I'm not signed up for a gym. However, I was recently, a couple of months ago, told I had to go back to the office after working at home for 3 years. There's a free gym in the office, so I've been using that whenever I've been in the office at lunchtime. I've been swinging kettlebells around in my conservatory, and the dusty old cross trainer that we've had in the garage, God, we've probably had it for 10 years, if not more, which has barely been used. Went into the conservatory as well, got dusted off. So we've been using that occasionally as well. And I've also bought myself an electric bike. We're 3 months down the line now. I'm over 12 and a half, I think 12.6 kilos down, which is just shy of 2 stone, which is, yeah, I'm really happy with my progress so far. What I'm also doing is, today is Friday. It is the 18th of August. Tomorrow, I'm going to do my first park run in over 5 years. Yeah, so I'll be strapping my trainers on tomorrow morning, heading out to see how I stack up with absolutely bugger all training whatsoever. I ran for a tram in Edinburgh a couple of weeks ago. That's as much running as I've done. I'm going to try to get on a cross trainer tonight. And yeah, I'm gonna pit myself against my local 5k. So yeah, this is gonna be interesting. And if I'm gonna now be pushing myself, I need to get into the conservatory more. I've got 9 months. At the rate I've lost weight, I think if I don't put any muscle on or anything like that, which I probably will, because I will be doing some weight training and things like that. Basic maths, I've lost 4 kilos a month on average over the last 3 months. Therefore, I should be down to about 89 kilos, I think it said, when I did the maths a couple of days ago. Come half marathon day, 19th of May next year. Yeah. And it will be about, like I say, about 10 years since I did the Bristol 10k, which was horrendous. That was one of the worst things I've ever done. I had a sore ankle at the time, and yeah, it was not my best day. But I beat the Chinese dragon that was being carried by 5 blokes and a gnome, I believe. But it was about an hour and a half. I'm going to be pushing for 2 hours ish for the half marathon. I think that seems to be good. So I'm going to need to get out into the conservatory more often, get in the kettlebell, start swinging them around, get the cross trainer, put the e-bike to use. So if you're still here and listening and interested in seeing what happens to me over the next 9 months, even if it is just to watch a fat bloke with high blood pressure kind of come millimeters from death near a vague duck pond in the deepest, darkest of Somerset, then yeah, like this video, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one, recapping how the park run went. Thanks very much.